What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of Benzinga Live. If you're watching the Jackson Hole, Jerome Powell watching the markets, looks like Powell did not do what he normally does today. Let me go ahead and get my Benzinga Pro pulled up. We'll run through the major indices before we get the show started, but basically a sell-off across the board. Not typically what we've seen when we see Jerome Powell take to the podium. He, usually he'll say some things that, at least get, people at least think they're bullish, think they're dovish, and the markets usually go up. But not today. Like I said, let's go ahead and share Benzinga Pro, pro.benzinga.com for your free 2-week trial. No credit card needed. Looking at the Qs right here, down 2 6/10%. I mean, it's a bloodbath out there. I don't know if there are any stocks in the NASDAQ 100 trading up. Literally, I don't know if there are any. With a 5-minute chart here, we can see actually pre-market, we were trading higher on the Qs for a little bit, right? 9:20, about 10 minutes before the market opened, we ticked up to 322. We're at 312 now. Looks like the chat was active before the show started. Yeah, sorry we had about a 30-minute gap today, but we'll be live till 1 p.m. We're probably playing some trivia later. Shout out to last week's trivia winner. We'll be playing some trivia later, and then at 1 p.m. Stock Market Movers. Mitch has a big show. He's having Stephanie Link on. Stephanie Link, you probably know her, seen her on CNBC. Joining Mitch on. Oh yeah, I'm getting. Hey, apparently is my mic not on? My mic might not be on. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now the mic's on. Sorry about that, guys. Basically, what I was saying, if y'all weren't able to hear me earlier, talking about Jerome Powell, talking about this sell-off. Q's getting crushed. I don't know. Are we going to see? All right. How about this? I'll throw this out there to the chat. If you think we're going to see the Q's down more than 3% by the end of the day, I'm not saying close down more than 3%, but right now we're already down 2.7%, about 0.3 away. Do you think at any point today we're going to dip below that 3% level? If you think yes, click 1. If you think no, click 2. And let me know in the chat, what you guys have been trading, what stocks y'all have been looking at. Let's see here. Oh, pretty mixed so far. Ed saying yes, he thinks we're going to go down more than 3% at some point. David Lynn saying 2, no. I kind of think, I think right now, and I'm talking about on the Qs here, not the SPY. So maybe a little bit more movement. Let's go over to the SPY since someone asked what a good level here is. And I mean, here's the thing: it's if I knew exactly where this thing's going, obviously I wouldn't be here on YouTube. I'd be I don't even know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be on a boat somewhere, if I had to guess. But I don't know. I mean, there are some people out there that are a little bit more bearish right now. Whether that means that they're going cash on, that they're just going dry powder, or that means that they are, actively shorting the market. Some people do think we're going back and going to at least come, test around these lows. I don't know if that means get absolutely to it. I don't really necessarily think so. I've been saying since about up here, and it looked like we were kind of rolling over that, hey, look, a little sell-off here makes sense. People taking profits. We basically went straight up 20%. From mid-June to mid-August, it makes sense to have a little sell-off, and I don't think today the sell-off is from Powell saying we haven't seen enough to convince us that inflation's done. Don't get ahead of it. And it's like, of course, we always knew. I don't think you can go back on the show and when we've been previewing this, we've been talking about this. I've said. I don't think anyone should expect him to be like, oh yeah, we're done with inflation now, the Fed's pivoting. If you thought that, then that's silly. So I don't I guess basically I don't get the market reaction because nothing that Powell said has come as a surprise to me. I think it makes sense to adopt that tone if you're the Fed, right? Your goal is to bring down inflation. You don't want to start celebrating before it's too early. You don't even want to see probably the market go up that quickly in that short a time frame as you're trying to fight inflation. That's not really great for the inflation the inflation fight. So again, I'm not surprised by anything Powell said. I'm honestly surprised the market's reacting this negatively to it. I don't think it changes anything in terms of what the Fed's, moves are going forward. I mean, look, if we get another month of lower CPI, we're still having gas prices drop every single day. Like, these things at the end of the day, the data that we're getting indicating that inflation has peaked or is falling might end up being more important, might end up driving the market in the long term more than what Powell's saying. Because again, it makes sense that Powell's going to stay committed to this fight against inflation. That's been like the number one thing people have been worried about over the last year. So why would he get up there and say, oh yeah, because we've had gas prices fall for 65, 70 days, we're done with inflation? No, they're still going to fight inflation. Maybe when gas prices have fallen for 100 straight days, right? Maybe when we get 3 months in a row of lower month-over-month CPI. I'm looking at the CME watch tool. The odds did jump up of a chance, or actually no, sorry, the odds actually went down. Is that right? For a 75 hike. According to the CME watch tool, this is for the September 21st meeting. Huh? What'd you say? Okay. G Gotcha saying it is housing, not houses, buy rents. Which stock are y'all talking about in the chat? Shelly said she's out of energy. Shelly, you got to get a Red Bull or something. Come on now. Come on now. It's time for Benzinga Live. Not time to sleep. Yeah, let's go. Let's check out how some of the specific sectors are doing. XLF, your financials down about 2%. XLE energy down about 1%. So I mean, Q's, it's really tech getting crushed today. Growth. What's ARKK down 5%. So Kathy Wood getting absolutely crushed today. Hey, if you missed out on the ARK rally from $37 to $55, I think ARK went up like 25-30% in like a month. If you missed out on that and were like, damn, here's another chance. Look, ARK got up to almost $54 on August 11th, and now you're down to 43. So if you liked ARK and you missed out on this little rally and you want to get back in it, now's a good chance. You guys saying some more secular. I mean, I think with throughout the inflation that we've seen, and we've talked about this point a lot on the show, throughout the inflation we've seen in the last year and a half, it's been driven by certain things, right? It's not as if, right, if we talk about the CPI being 8.5, if we talk about inflation being 8.5% year over year, it's not as if the dollar is just 8.5% weaker across the board. It's not as if everything got 8.5% more expensive, right? Used and new cars were up like 40% at one point. Gas was up almost 100% at one point. If the average gallon of gas was, $3 a year ago, and then it got up to $5.20, it was up like 80% at one point. So you have certain things driving inflation, and the same is going to be true with deflation. As inflation's coming down with the deflation, you have right now electronics like TVs, cell phones, computers, things that people were buying a lot of during COVID. A lot of these companies went out and overstocked up on these things. So now that the consumption mix is changing among consumers, there's not as much demand for these electronics or other home goods, and now they have a lot of inventory on them, so they're slashing prices on them, and those prices are going to fall quicker than maybe food or gas or something that has less of an elastic demand. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and say inflation's peaked or it hasn't peaked. I don't know. I think a lot of economists see a lot of signs that it has, but I think even those economists would say, they would be remiss to just make bold predictions about it if inflation is going to remain where it's at, come down, or stay here. It's as we saw from the price impact of everything going on in Russia and Ukraine, like outside events, outside of just the economy, right? The economy's not in a vacuum. Like world events can affect inflation, COVID, supply chain issues. We don't know. I hope inflation continues to fall. I hope gas prices continue to fall, because even though, well, let's go to the AAA gas prices page, because we haven't been on here in a while. Wow. National average down to 386. We'll call it 387, round up. 387 on the national average. If you're in Texas, your average is $3.40 a gallon. California, still $5.30. Man, oh man. Not getting any relief in California paying gas. Texas, Missouri, I mean, all these states have below 350 averages down here. You love to see that. Michigan, we're chilling at a 385 average. I was so pissed. I had to grab some gas yesterday, and I just went to, like, I don't know. I know you can look on apps and see like which gas stations have the cheapest gas, but like to me it's like, am I really going to drive 2 miles out of my way because this gas station has 3 cents cheaper gas a gallon? No, I'm going to save 80 cents or whatever, and it's not going to be worth my time. But yesterday when I stopped for gas, I noticed, like, as I was at the pump, that the gas at this gas station was still like $4.30 when I had just passed other gas stations where it was like more than a quarter cheaper than that. I was kind of pissed. But again, probably cost me less than $1 on the difference there. G-Gotch just wants a hot meme stock. I don't know. Let's check in on some of the meme stocks today. I also realized we haven't played the intro. Let's do that. Let's get the show started, then we'll get back to the meme stocks. Come prepared to or drop some tickers, stocks, cryptos, whatever you got, whatever you want to look at in the chat. Anything you can invest in. I mean, it can be an art piece on Masterworks for all I care. We can look at it. I'll let you know if I think it's a good investment or not. It's not gonna be investment advice, but I'll tell you my opinion. All right, let's roll that intro. Drop some tickers in the chat. We'll take a look at them when we get back.
This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojasek from Trend Spider. We have a breaking news.
All right, so let me go back to my Benzinga Pro. We were talking meme stocks. I have a theory. I have a theory that, it's kind of a, if you guys have ever read the book, I believe the guy's name is Tolkien, The Hobbit. In The Hobbit, there's one true ring to rule them all. I think there's one true meme stock to rule them all. And I think before it's all said and done, here's my theory. Is that, there was one OG meme stock. And I'm not talking like OG, like .com bubble. I'm talking OG like 2019, 2020. Like even before the COVID markets went crazy, before you had AMC, before you had GameStop, you had a stock that people were trading on Wall Street bets, making, you know, tens and thousands, hundreds and thousands, in some cases maybe millions of dollars worth of on options. Actually, you know, and then we saw it continue throughout COVID. No, the show didn't end. The show's just getting started. Got a whole hour left. We still haven't even played trivia. All right. So basically, I was seeing if I was gonna get any guesses in the chat. So I was talking about Tesla stock, kind of the OG meme stock. My theory is that when it's all said and done, we haven't really seen, right? We saw from a valuation standpoint the stocks in, you know, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. For the most part, their valuations got absolutely crushed. In some cases, you know, your Netflixes went down 75%. In a lot of cases, that's on par with what you saw in a lot of 2000.com bubble companies. Like if you look at your Amazons, your Apples, a lot of them drew down 80%, kind of similar to what Netflix did over the past 3 months. But some other stocks, you know, like Tesla, you know, off the top of my head, there are a lot of other probably stocks that remain still very expensive. And if you're like a true fundamental investor, right? If you're like a Michael Burry or a Warren Buffett, you probably still wouldn't even like sniff Tesla, even do DD on it because you're like, this is still so overvalued. I think before maybe, you know, you do get a realistic valuation on Tesla, before you get this kind of reversion to mean, before Tesla starts trading at a realistic valuation, it has to do the opposite. I think we're going to see a return to Tesla full meme stock. I don't know if that means, you know, we're going to come down, bounce down here, and then shoot up, make new all-time highs, and then come crashing down from there. I don't know. I just think if we're ever going to get like a realistic valuation on Tesla, get some more of this of the froth out of the market, we're going to see the opposite happen first. How the hell is Tesla related to Tolkien? Because this is the one true meme stock to rule them all. All the others will fail and burn out, and one will remain. And it'll be Tesla. It'll be inscribed. There's probably some nerd out there has probably made a Lord of the Rings Tesla. Forward PE of Tesla is 76 right now. Price to sales 15. So, I mean, even with like an Apple, which again, a lot of fundamental value investors may consider overvalued, you compare that to a 26 PE and a 7 price to sales. And again, I'm not in the camp that really thinks these fundamentals matter, right? I more am in like the Tim Quast school of thought where the share price is going to be determined by supply and demand. I don't think it matters. I'm saying for a lot of these guys, for a lot of the Warren Buffetts, the Michael Burrys that like to crunch the numbers and really get into the fundamentals, that does matter. Those things do matter to them. So, my theory, my prediction, I think Tesla will go crazy again. I'm not sure, Andrew. Let me look into this. Let's look into Tesla's forward PE. I do really like FinViz. Free plug for another company, kind of competitor, honestly, but I do like FinViz. Yeah, I mean, FinViz is also showing Tesla's PE at 35. What I imagine happened here is it is not split adjusted yet. Yeah. Oh wait. Hold on. Yeah, because here, look, you can see. Okay, so I was just giving FinViz credit, but now I gotta give them the opposite of credit. They fucked up all this data. Whoever was looking at their data here, I'll pull this up. I mean, you can see right here. I think I nailed it right on the head. That they just didn't adjust the split, so they're basing it all off of a $297 or $290 share price for Tesla. You can see right here, market cap 300 billion. Tesla is about a 3 times bigger company than that. Right? If we Google Tesla stock, Google will show us the market cap is 900 billion. So FinViz has their market cap at 300 billion. Their real market cap is 900 billion. So, sorry, FinViz. What do you mean, what, Bree? Guess I should get a Benzinga sub. I could be your Benzinga sub. Tesla needs a strong truck entry. Yeah, I mean, that I think that's pretty clear, right? That if Tesla isn't able to put out the Cybertruck or the 18-wheeler like sometime in the next couple years, they're just going to get crushed. What, Matt? What are you talking about, Shelly? I don't know what you're talking about. $304, $287 range. That's all you got to know. I do like Apple here. I got to be honest. I also have a theory. It's kind of a silly theory, a bullish case on Apple. Here's what I'm thinking. So during COVID, Apple got a huge demand increase for all of its products, right? Whether you're talking phones, laptops, iPads, watches, whatever it is, Apple got a huge demand from. Shelly, are you trying to say that FinViz's data is right on this? Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at the car buying data in the United States, pickup trucks are so popular. That's why I really like, a lot of the, like Ford right now is doing a lot of work to get these electric pickup trucks out there. I don't know. I mean, that's why I think like Tesla just will lose more and more of its market share as these other companies. Because it's not just like, it's not going to be, oh, you can buy a Tesla or this other really expensive Mercedes EV. There's going to be other luxury models to compete with Teslas, but then you're also going to have, a Ford F-150, a Ford Lightning, whatever it is, where they're, the same price of basically another truck, but they're electric. And I don't believe, I mean, I'll make a bet with someone out there and someone else can be escrow. We can figure out how to do it. I'll do it publicly. I'll make a bet, whatever the date is right now, that Tesla is promising, if they even have a delivery date set for, the Cybertrucks, I'll take the over on it. I'll bet that it doesn't come by that date. And again, I'll make that bet publicly. Someone else can be escrow. We can figure it out. And there probably will be pickup truck guys that never want to, that never want to get an electric pickup. But I think for the most part, people. Like, imagine like all imagine all the technology how trucks have changed over the past 40 years. Imagine if every time some of the new technology that was adopted, you never went to. I mean, even like the silly little things. I mean, even 10 years ago, and I'm kind of guilty of this too. Like, that's a good question. The VV way. I don't know. I don't think we should. There should be a service like that. That's just a live rate, like a live audio of our YouTube, because YouTube makes that kind of hard to do, right? Like it makes it kind of hard to just click play and play just the audio of YouTube. But I was gonna say, like, even like the silly little things, like when we changed keys to push to start, there were people that for a long time, I don't want to get a push to start. I like turning the key, and I was kind of like that too. Like the car that I have right now is push to start, but before that, I was driving an '01. So I was driving an old car, a car that was 20 years, like almost as old as me. And Rumble can do that. We were streaming on Rumble for a little bit. I don't think we got a lot of things. But basically what I'm saying is, like, think about all the technological advancements over the past 30, 40 years of trucks. And if every time, you know, you resist it and don't, you're just going to get stuck with an old, outdated truck. So I think a lot of these people that say they'll never drive an electric truck over time. And yeah, I think right now, like Enic Lion and like G Gotcha are saying, that there are different use cases. You know, like there is still going to be a need for gas trucks, of course. Right now, right, it's not going to be feasible, even if someone puts out an 18-wheeler that's all electric, until we have a proper charging infrastructure. It's not going to be feasible to ask this truck to drive from, you know, Baltimore to Albuquerque. What are they going to do? Stop every, you know, couple hours and charge for 3 hours? It's going to take them a week to get there. But as these things develop, like these are hurdles that over time get solved. That maybe, you know, for personal use, people switch over to EVs and the trucks remain gas, but then in 10 years, the batteries have a way that, you know, the truck will automatically put the charged battery in, and then you know, have a second battery that it's charging, and when the first one dies, it switches. Who knows what the technology is going to be like in 10 years? So, oh, Easy Mike, you going back to North Carolina this weekend? Hell yeah. Should be beautiful weather there. Jeep is solid, MD. Some dude in my building has a new electric Jeep. He says he loves it. Yeah, I think Andrew, certainly that's a not only a possibility, but probably the most likely scenario is that in the next, and that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm leasing a car right now, and it's a 3-year lease, so I have about 2 more years left on it. I'm hoping that in 2 years' time, that some of these like supply chain issues and the chips and whatnot are going to be solved by then, so the car market kind of stabilizes. But B, I'm really hoping that, you know, some electric cars might, you know, maybe we'll get a base model electric Toyota Corolla for, you know, 30 grand or something, you know, like something that's a reasonable electric. Yeah, Raleigh's nice. I was just in Raleigh a couple weekends ago. Actually, a few months ago now at this point. Time flies. Summer's flying. Summer's basically over. I guess Labor Day, is that the fair? I think that's the consensus, right? Once Labor Day hits, it's officially the end of summer. Although for a lot of people, I mean, if you have kids, you know, and they're going back to school this week or going back to school next week, it probably feels like summer's over already. I didn't like that. Okay. Oh, wow. Topher thing. So you're saying it's summer till September 21st? That's like the technical when summer. See, okay, but here's the problem with that is that if you're going by those dates, they say that like summer technically starts June 22nd or whatever. And it's like, all right, like, come on. Summer doesn't start June 22nd. At least, like, for me, summer always started end of May. You know, like, we got out of school. June was 100% all summer. It wasn't mostly spring. Used trucks in California might be a good investment in 2023 or 2034. Yeah, they're banning new sales of gas trucks after 2030. It's funny because, like, I you know, that might raise eyebrows or people, but like, from what I anticipate that that like no one will be selling gas cars by then. Not even from like a policy government standpoint. It just won't be profitable to do so. Or they will, like they'll make them to sell, but they won't be the, you know, the factory models that are getting rolled out and advertised. You know, like they'll be like, you know, it's like the base models will all be electric. My prediction by then. But what's interesting about California really is so yeah, for anyone who isn't aware, California passed a law that says by 2035 all vehicle sales have to be electric vehicles, no gas cars. What's interesting about California, and this is true for probably most states in the United States, if you get out of the metro areas, it's pretty, conservative. So there probably are a lot of Californians that want their gas trucks. So that's not a bad idea, actually. You might have to start buying them a little bit before 2034. But if they really start, cracking down on that, then I'd imagine those gas trucks would get pretty high demand. Dude, so I don't know, and I don't know, I didn't really follow up on this or like do more research because it didn't pertain to me. If it did, I probably would be all on top of this story. I saw that California and a couple other states were going to do more stimulus checks, which I do know California like has been one state that's been running a surplus, and I've always wondered like why wouldn't you, if you're running a surplus, why wouldn't you turn some of that back over to your constituents, I guess, or invest in policies and infrastructure that will help your constituents? But I would rather do it just straight there for the straight back to the people. Yeah, I agree. I hope nuclear energy is the future. I don't know. I think we haven't fully solved the nuclear waste problem, which has always been the big hurdle. I think it's by far has the most upside out of any of the clean energy options, and should be more seriously invested in. Should be more seriously considered. That'd be like if I were in charge of the country, that'd be like one of the first things I would do is say, hey, all right, let's start putting some real money and putting our minds together and start figuring out nuclear, public transportation too, education as well. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of, I think France has been a big investor in nuclear energy over the past couple decades. Germany has done the exact opposite and basically phased all of its nuclear out. Yeah, I know, and I think that's where where I'm saying like we haven't solved really the nuclear waste problem. I think from a public standpoint, it's something that's still really scary to a lot of people. Although in the actual community, so in Illinois, kind of near where I'm from, there's a neighborhood where they had a nuclear power plant. I think they were like getting ready to phase it out, shut it down, and driving around the neighborhood, like everyone had signs that said like "Save our power plant" or "Save our nuclear plant." They're like good jobs, we like it, whatever. And so this neighborhood, like people would think, oh, we don't want nuclear. Like the people that live around it won't want it. It was the opposite. They wanted to keep it. Ulta goes red after a big beat and raise. I mean, this stock is just a monster. I don't know anything about the company or like why is okay. So here's what I don't know, and maybe someone in the chat can help me. Is Ulta a makeup brand or is it a store that sells makeup or both? Or like why like basically like why is this a like why is this a $21 billion company? Like, can't people just buy makeup at Target or Walgreens? Okay, it's both. Wait, so okay. But like, and doesn't Ulta work with Target? Is Sephora under Ulta's? I just don't. All right. More than 1,300 stores in a partnership with Target, Ulta Beauty is the largest specialized beauty retailer in the U.S. The firm offers makeup, fragrances, skincare, and hair care products, bath and body items. Ulta provides private label products. All right, so I mean, all right. Again, I'm not really exactly sure. I understand the valuation. Oh, like McDonald's owning a lot of real estate. There we go. That might make some sense. Why the valuation's so high? I don't know. I'm honestly, I feel like some of these stocks I just don't argue with. Like stocks that seemingly go up every day, every week. You know, let's go to a weekly chart here. I mean, look at this chart. This is going back to 2010. You're not going to find a lot of better looking charts than this. I want to see let's see what the total return is on so if you would have bought Ulta, say 5 years ago, I guess you're up only 87%. Not amazing. If you bought it in 2011, you're up 800%. Burritos BZ Pro of the financial statements. Yes, ma'am. I'm talking about the like its market cap. It's $21 billion. I was saying I didn't like understand. Is it like Ulta makeup brand? I guess I can just Google it. Ulta makeup brand. Okay, so they do have an Ulta beauty collection. I just like there's no other. I don't know if there's another stock out there that I feel like is like I'm trying to think of like I guess kind of like a Dick's Sporting Goods. You know, like they have a bunch of different brands of other companies, and also maybe you know some Dick's Sporting Goods brand things. But like historically, have there been stores like that? Have there been brands like Ulta, like Dick's that are basically just storefronts that have been like really good investments over time? I guess Walmart, kind of, right? MD wants to look at Blink. Blink's interesting. So you have Blink, you have ChargePoint. What other of these tickers do you have? And okay, so basically the idea is that EVs are going to continue to grow, right? People are going to continue to buy more and more EVs. We need more charging stations. We need like to basically all the gas stations we have across the country now for ICE cars, right? For internal combustion engines or whatever they're called. We need to basically replace or have as much of those for EVs. So there are going to be obviously companies that benefit from this. Is it going to be ChargePoint? That's one of them that probably will. Plug Power, another one that probably will. Blink, another one that probably will. But so far, Electrify America, from everything that I've seen, has been the furthest along in developing these charging stations. And Electrify America is actually owned by Volkswagen. And I've talked about Volkswagen a lot on this show before. I don't necessarily love, just in general, the automakers as investments. I mean, look, so we're looking at a weekly chart of Volkswagen here, and Volkswagen's had a lot of problems. Of course, they had the big emissions scandal going back a couple years ago. But I mean, look at this chart, just flat, flat, flat. You get these breakout periods and then kind of really bad. I do own some shares of Volkswagen, full disclosure, that I'm holding long term because I've liked that. At least they're saying they're putting a lot of money and making a lot of investments into the EV space. So I don't, I'd essentially rather put my money into Volkswagen, who's putting a lot of money into the electric vehicle, clean energy space, than maybe like a newer company like Blink or Plug Power that's not going to have the same resources available, not going to have the same infrastructure that Volkswagen has to really pursue these goals. Catch up on the chat. Yeah, Shelly, we don't have to Google. We have all the financial. Look, cash flow. You want cash flow for Volkswagen? Operating activities. 7 billion last quarter. Total cash flow from investing activities. This is probably Electrify America here. Lost 5.5 billion. Net change in cash. Made 4 billion. Sounds fine to me. I was just gonna do something or like look something up, but then I forgot what it was. Qs were getting down right to that 3%. So if you had Qs getting down to that 3%, congratulations. Well, not yet, because I don't think we've hit there. 299. Oh, we got there. Down 3% today on the Qs. What a bloodbath out there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not scared. I might buy some shit today. I might buy some Voog. That's been my go-to. That I've been just adding it to in my Roth. Swung it from 200 up to about 260. I don't even want to look at my portfolio today. Are any of these gas companies working towards charging stations? That's a good question. I think all the biggest gas companies, whether you're talking BP, whether you're talking Exxon Mobil, whether you're talking Chevron, they're all putting resources toward clean energy. I think they've realized, hey, we have an option here to either allocate some of our resources, to allocate some of our R&D toward clean energy, or we double down on what we've been doing, and then by doing so, maybe we're writing our death certificate, just assuring our demise. And I think most of them, you go to any of their investor page. I mean, we'll just do it right now. Let's go to Chevron's thing, and I mean, I'm sure they're gonna try to make it sound like they're. See, I mean, look right here, sustainability. We strive to enable human progress in a sustainable manner to serve the world. So let's see. Let's go to their investors page. That's what is so funny to me. I think about people that are like blindly resisting change and the energy, because here's the thing: it never comes from people in the energy space, right? One of my best friends in the world, he might be watching right now, works in oil and gas, worked in Houston and Texas, and like he like is way more in the weeds on this energy stuff than probably 90% of people that opine on it on Twitter. And he's like, yeah, like oil and gas, like people like from a private standpoint, people are moving away from it. People are not investing in it. And then people get mad when I don't know. I just don't understand it because it's like, all right, if you worked in this industry, I don't, but I listen to the people that do. And it's clear that they know what's going to be profitable for them down the road. So yeah, we're just on chevron.com/investors. I'm not even on any like sustainability thing like that. We believe the future of energy will be lower carbon. We intend to be a leader today and in that future. So basically, yeah. I mean, I think like Chevron. I think all these gas companies are working toward that. Yeah, and it's like people. Like, what do you call it? Like? I don't know. Like, I don't even know what ESG means anymore because like I don't know. I really don't. But yeah, I mean, let's see with ExxonMobil. Let's see if it's similar. I'm gonna guess similar. It would be kind of funny if one of them, if like one of these huge oil and gas companies is run by, some like Texas, Houston dude, and he's like, no, climate change isn't real. We're not gonna, invest any money in clean energy. We're doubling down. Exxon kind of is actually. It looks like. Oh no, see ESG summary deck, fall. Read the report. Let's see what's in here. See, this is because it's like so funny. Like this, like ExxonMobil has probably done more to harm the environment than, basically like most companies out there. They're gonna put out this like ESG report. So ExxonMobil is operating model under, I don't know, like they're all advocating for sound policy. Sure you are, ExxonMobil, advocating for sound policies. Again, I do like. Let's go to Oxy. No, Shelly, I mean, I know what ESG stands for. I'm saying people throw ESG out there. No, I don't believe them, OP. I'm saying people throw ESG out there as, like, I don't know. Like, people, like, someone in the chat yesterday was saying, like, ESG is going to destroy our, like, civilization or something. And I was just like, I don't know if we're talking about the same ESG here. Because whatever you want to call it, like call it sustainability, call it whatever you want to call it, like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and whether you want to call it ESG, whether you want to call it, you can call it sustainability and talk about them trying to sustain as a business in general, like not even sustainability from an environmental standpoint, but just saying, hey, we want to remain a business, so we have to invest in this. Otherwise, we're not going to be, we're not going to be viable in the future. It's like if you were making horse carriages, right? And you had an opportunity to start making cars in 1910, and you said, no, we're going to keep making our horse carriages. That's what we do. Okay, you could have said, oh, ESG, like they're trying to push the cars on us. We're not doing that. We're going to stick with our horse carriages. Okay, call it whatever you want. I don't care what you want to call it. What's the Dewey quote from Well, Richard, that's what probably will be kind of the case for a while, is that, natty gas is going to be our kind of stepping stone as we transition from basically going from mostly on fossil fuels to mostly on sustainable. And there will be a point where probably like everything is used, right? There probably still will be coal used for certain things and gas and oil used for certain things. But I think the goal and where we're heading from a from what it looks like, standpoint is that you know, the majority of our energy consumed will be coming from these sustainable sources as opposed to, you know, different oil and gas things. Yeah, I mean, Jay Rice, if you were watching earlier, you heard me being a proponent of yeah, I don't see. Here's the thing: is it's so funny. Like, people can argue in the chat. We basically had the same argument yesterday about the policy is driving the investing into you know, clean energy and not into fossil fuels. Like, basically, like, people are acting as if, okay, if we went completely laissez-faire, completely hands-off, the government did absolutely nothing, completely libertarian, that all this money would be flowing into oil and gas and nothing would be flowing into clean energy. I'm saying I don't think that's true at all. And that's, not only do I not think that's true, that's not what the executives in the oil and gas industry say. They say the opposite. They say, hey, we're not investing in more oil and gas projects because of our investors. Because they don't see this problem. I'm saying, like, if we went completely off, you know, no policy, no subsidies, no whatever, I still think there'd be money flowing into these things. Of course, there's more because of the policies, because of this. That's always been the case. That's been in any industry. We subsidized computers and technology in the 90s. We subsidized semiconductors in the 70s. The U.S., the United States was the world leader in semiconductors. Right, Intel, IBM in like the 70s. And the only reason we were able to produce those semiconductors in that time frame was because of the government, because the government granted money saying, hey, from a defense standpoint, what they gave them a bunch, like, I don't know what the equation for money is today with inflation and everything, but basically gave them a blank check and said, hey, we need to produce these semiconductors, we need to like do this technology. Gave them a bunch of money for R&D. IBM and Intel that developed these chips that would not only change our economy, but change the whole world and change the world economy, were only possible because of these government policies. Let me find if anyone's interested in this, is a great report. It's actually a pretty long read, 20-minute read, but a brief history of semiconductors, how the U.S. cut costs and lost the leading edge. So if you want to know how we basically gave birth to semiconductors in the 1970s, and then, you know, obviously with Taiwan, TSMC, how we kind of lost over time that battle. How we kind of lost that battle over time, and now we are not the leader in chips anymore. It's a very, very interesting read. I'll drop that link in the chat, or if the link doesn't post, will come here. But yeah, total semiconductor sales by U.S. firms. I mean, you can see here in the 1960s. In the 1970s, the booming non-defense market meant successful small and large firms coexisted without much government support or coordination. Yeah, I mean, it's a very fascinating read, this was, and it reminds me of kind of what we're seeing with the clean energy debate right now. Yeah, I feel that. Reading sucks. Back in the 1950s, coal hydrogenation was perfected by mine safety associations to the point that they could turn coal into oil at the same price. Well, holy shit. Yeah, see, there's a lot of sketchy shit like that that's happened. All right, guys, another quick check on the... Oh, my God. Market's still down 3%, QZR. Yeah, Tesla. I mean, Tesla was holding on, only down about 1%. Now down. I mean, Tesla's had a pretty bad. Oh, it's fine actually. I was gonna say it's had a bad week. I just saw it down. See, I think I saw it down a little bit yesterday, but it felt like a lot because I was expecting it to be up.
I was thinking about that too, like center stage.
Yeah, Shelly. Of course, I'm still doing options. I had a put on the Qs that I sold earlier. I just haven't been sharing my portfolio as much. People are making fun of me for using Robinhood.
Yeah. So that's the thing we need to do today. That's like super easy.
What's everyone doing this weekend? Any fun plans? I do see Enver hanging out in the background, so we can go ahead and get to trivia. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say risk management is my strength as a trader, but I would say it's something I'm getting better at, which is what matters. I might buy some calls on TQQQQ. It's down 8%. Things got to come back up eventually, right? Right? Right, guys? Things got to come back up. Ooh, NX going to Vegas next Tuesday? Jealous. Consider me PB and jelly. Tan is interested. Yeah, we can look at some solar stocks here. Let me get back to Benzinga Pro. Again, I would recommend this article from Employ America. It's a long read, 20 minutes, but if you want to understand the semiconductor market, understand how kind of government policy in that case impacted the private market, and I don't know. I think things are never black and white. So some people, I think, are indoctrinated to believe that government plus business equals bad. I'm saying I don't think that's true. I'm not saying government plus business equals good. I think there's many cases of there being bad things and good things. So just have it be black and white one way or the other. All right, let's look at some solar stocks. TAN is, of course, your Invesco Solar ETF. Wow, actually holding on today, down only about 1.6%, so a little bit less than the overall market. My favorite stock in the solar space, Run, down about 4% today in my Roth. Array as well in my Roth, down. I don't know. I mean, I'm not selling either of these stocks. I like them both for the long term. I think, you can just go buy TAN. We'll be fine. But I don't even know. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know. What about iClean? Like, that could be interesting too. I kind of like the idea of, I think iClean, you get some exposure outside of just solar, right? You have other types of sustainable energy. Hydrogen, whatever. All right, Jay Rice wants financials on DQ. Oh, is DACA, is this the Chinese one? Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. How am I supposed to know about a Chinese solar name? What do I look like to you? Several of Chinese companies are trading higher after the U.S. audit regulators signed an agreement with Chinese regulators. The agreement could help ease delisting. See, this is like the shit where it's like, yeah, no, duh. Like, no, duh, the U.S. regulators in China were going to, like, agree and things were going to be fine. It's like, do you really think, like, we're going to have some huge fallout with China and both of our economies are going to come crashing? Like, no. Like, things are always going to, like, barring some huge fundamental change, every time I see some story about, like, oh, China and U.S. relations falling out, or, like, this is it. After a 25-plus year of China being our biggest business partner, just a complete fallout. I'm just supposed to expect that to materialize out of nowhere. No, that's not how things work.
Social post is an add-on, but it's just like
It's a lot of like FUD. Like a lot of people that I think want that to happen say, okay, this is it. All right, let's go to the financials. Cash flow, income statement, balance sheet. What do we want? What do we want, Jay Rice? I mean, from a income statement, we'll look at their gross profit. So we'll look at total revenue. Bill two. I mean, it's grown a lot. Past 2 quarters done over $1 billion after doing not that much year before. Oh, holy cow. I mean, so why do you think this is so cheap, Jay? Just because it's Chinese? Something's got to give here, man. Something's got to give. Is that it? Is it literally? All right. What about this? All right. So, cash. It's got about 3 billion cash. As I don't know, man. I mean, if all these numbers are legit, if the company's grown that much, is it going to keep making this much money? I mean, look how much more money it's made the past 2 quarters, right? 1.2 bill, 1.3 bill versus 400 million the quarter before that, 600 million the quarter before that, 450 million quarter before that. Only $250 million. So basically you went from $250 million to 5 times that. Is that sustainable? Jay, we'll have to look more into this and see kind of what led to this growth, and then see if it's sustainable, see if it's legit. Otherwise, it's a great pick. DQ. I love me some Dairy Queen too, so I like the ticker. I don't mind getting invested in a Chinese solar name. It doesn't scare me. I ain't get scared. Money don't make money. All right, guys. I am getting word that trivia is ready, so let's go ahead and get ready for some trivia. What up, my man, Enver?
Hello, sir. I think we're ready.
All right, we're ready. Let's get to it. All right, you guys know the rules. Drop your answers, numbers in the chat, right, Enver, that correspond in YouTube. Otherwise, right, your answers will not be recorded. I will be playing. So good luck to everyone out there. Here comes your first question in about 15 seconds.
Where's AT?
I have no clue.
Damn, okay.
All right, first question. What is the only king in a deck of cards without a mustache? Is it the King of Spades, King of Hearts, number 2, King of Diamonds, or the King of Clubs? I have literally no clue. I'm gonna guess King of Hearts here, though. I feel like I can picture the King of Clubs, and he's got a dirty little porn stash. Ha! Let's go. Lucky guess. All right, next question coming right now. What is the largest number of children born to one woman? Holy shit. Oh my god. I don't even want to imagine this. I gotta go 3 here. 29 feels like a lot. But it's probably 49. It could even be more. That's way too many. Holy cow. I mean, this has to be like just like recorded too. Who knows if it's true? Oh my god. Oh my god. How? Can someone do the math on that? Wouldn't that take like 50 years?
And I go, yep, that's a song. That's played at the bar.
Alright, which video game features Lara Croft? Is it 1, Tomb Raider? 2, The Last of Us, 3, Street Fighter, or 4, Grand Theft Auto? I'm gonna go 2 here, Last of Us.
You said 2. Why did you type in 1 then?
I was kidding. I know the right answer.
Okay.
Bro, I'm pretty sure the name of this game, like her name is in the name of the game. It's like Lara Croft Tomb Raider, isn't it? Tom Ratter.
Yeah. Hey bro, read the question, man. What the hell?
What is the little dot above a lowercase I or J called? Is it called a wit, a tittle, a jot, or a dripple? Sorry, I was watching on the stream, so we were delayed. We were still. All right, let's let these answers file in. What'd you guess, Enver? Or you know the answer?
Of course.
2, damn, I guess jot. How old was Mary Stuart when she became the Queen of Scotland? Was she 6 years, 6 days, 26 years, or 16 years? I'm gonna guess 2 here. I'm gonna guess 6 days here. I'm gonna guess she became the queen when she was a baby. It's either 6 years or 6 days. It's gotta be one of those two, because it's gotta be like the most outlandish answer. Ooh, a little change of beat. A little change of beat. 6 days. Got that one right. All right. That was question 5. I don't know who's in the lead right now. I think I'm 3 for 5. I doubt I am, but we're going to keep playing. Keep ticking along here. All right, which poison do apple seeds contain? Is it strychnine? Is it ricin? Ricin? Cyanide? Or arsenic? I don't know. I did not brush up on my different types of poison before this trivia, Enver, so I might be a little lost on this one.
This is the easiest question of them all, man. Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Damn.
I felt bad. I don't. Like the cheapest they were talking about. Yeah, it was like your
Well, all right, let's see. Wait, do we have one more question? So wait, apple
One more.
seeds contain cyanide? I've definitely eaten apple seeds before. Ooh, when was Diet Coke invented? Was it 2002? Was it 1982? Was it 1962? Or was it 1892? Eat 100 apple seeds and you're a goner? Really? All right. New weekend plans. Just kidding. 1982. Wow. I would have guessed it was earlier than that. Would have guessed it was earlier than that. All right, drum roll, please. The winner is being calculated. Our supercomputer generator will crunch the numbers and based not only on the correctness of your answers, but also how quick they are. We will deem one winner, and you will win some swag that may get delivered at some point in the next, who knows how long it'll take. Our winner, I believe, a first-time winner, Patrick McGross. Patrick McGross, please come front and center and email us shows@benzinga.com to claim your free piece of swag. Yeah, shout out Tiny Pie, finishing number 9th, cracking that top 10 for, I think, the first time ever. Shelly got 10th. I got 11th. Not great. Not a great showing by me today, but hey. Like Padraig Harrington. I know Padraig Harrington. All right, guys. Do me a favor. We will have stock market movers coming up with Money Mitch here in a few minutes. Please stay tuned for that. He's got Stephanie Link coming on, who she's a very, very smart investor, trader, someone who's out there watching what's going on. She's on CNBC all the time. Share his stream on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. Get some more people in it, because that will be a great interview coming up. I don't really have much planned for the next 8 minutes on the show. So if anyone has any stockies or cryptos, you want to check out, we can, or otherwise we can see what's going on. I mean, I just had a pretty kind of bad voice crack there. Not great. I mean, guys, look, Q's down 2.8%. It's Friday. It's summer Friday. I don't think people are very active today. I mean, look at from a volume standpoint, it's not like today's been a crazy high volume, even though we're down 2.8%. I honestly still think, I mean, I don't know what you need to constitute, if we need like multiple more red days in a row to say, okay, now we're not in an uptrend anymore, we're in a downtrend. But I think we'll start coming back up here pretty soon. If the Qs, like, if we open on Monday and we're still moving lower, I'm gonna buy some. I mean, look, we were at fucking 335 a couple days ago. I think we'll be back up there here in the next month. BBB calls for next week. Hey, if you want to buy some YOLO lottery calls, buy some Bed Bath & Beyond calls. But if don't do it outside of that, outside of a lottery ticket, outside of a YOLO play, right? If you have $1,000 sitting in your brokerage from a trade you made a couple months ago that's just sitting there and you don't care about it and you want to do that, sure. But if you have $20,000 in your Roth IRA that you're planning on retiring with in 20 years, then no, don't do that. And this isn't investment advice, but I mean, Duke the Fool saying he learned stuff today. Hell yeah, that's always the goal. All I like this channel even more. Hell yeah. Hopefully you shout us that email. Again, shows@benzinga.com. I'll throw that up there on the screen. Just tell us you were our trivia winner today. And we'll get you a t-shirt or a hat sent out. Do a flip? I can't do a flip. All right, guys. Let me make sure the redirect is set to Mitch's stream. Again, don't go anywhere. Great interview coming up with Stephanie Link. Hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. As always, if anyone wants to follow me on Twitter @AaronBree5, I'm doing follow backs for free all day by the end of the day. So go ahead and smash the like MD is saying. Money Mitch with Stephanie Link coming up here in a few minutes. Yeah. Any big weekend plans anyone wants to share in the chat? Anyone going boating? Anyone going on any fun trips? Getting married? Anything exciting? Anything at all? Poolside all weekend? Hell yeah, MD. All right, guys. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Follow me on Twitter. Love you guys. We'll be back on Monday.